Welcome to our channel, Bravo News. A glamorous return. The Beverly Hills sun shimmered with its usual arrogance, casting golden hues across Rodeo Drive as the newest season of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills began production. Fans were thrilled to learn Denise Richards was returning to the fold. The ex-Wild Things actress was known for her charm, her blunt honesty, and, most of all, her mysterious exit during Season 10. This time, Denise was back with promises of transparency. "I'm in a new chapter," she smiled during her confessional. "No more secrets. I've learned to speak my truth." But that truth was far darker than anyone expected. Behind the camera-ready makeup, the designer bags, and her professionally composed face, Denise Richards was hiding something. And for the first time, the cameras of RHOBH were about to catch something that wasn't just drama, it was dangerous. Whispers on set. The drama began subtly. During the second week of filming, crew members whispered that Denise looked on edge. Her smiles were tight, her eyes darted nervously when her husband, Aaron Vipers, appeared on set. She always seemed to brace herself when he entered the room. Production assistant Lisa Garrity recalled, "You could feel the tension. Aaron would show up unannounced on shoot days, and Denise would suddenly stop talking. He wasn't officially part of the show this season, but he kept hovering." Producers chalked it up to overprotectiveness. Aaron had been vocal in the past about disliking the Housewives drama. But one mic pack, accidentally left on, would soon tell a different story. The hot mic moment. It happened on a Tuesday evening shoot at Lisa Rinna's dinner party. The ladies were dressed in the nines, sipping rosé and spilling secrets. The energy was catty, wild, and glamorous, everything Bravo viewers loved. Denise excused herself to take a call. What she didn't realize was that her microphone had been left on. She stepped outside to the balcony, pacing. The audio picked up everything. "Aaron, please, I told you I'd be home at 10. Don't start this now." Pause. Her voice shakes. "No, I didn't lie. The scene ran long." "Stop. You're scaring me again." Silence. "I said stop." That's when the producers froze. They'd heard reality stars scream at each other for years, but this wasn't entertainment. This was fear. Protecting Denise. The audio was immediately flagged. Bravo's legal team stepped in, unsure if the footage could even be aired. Meanwhile, producers reached out to Denise directly. She was shaken, but denied anything was wrong. "Aaron's just intense. He's passionate. He just worries about me." Garcelle Beauvais, one of Denise's closest allies on the show, wasn't buying it. "I've known Denise for years. She was always in control, competent, but that night, she looked broken, like something in her had cracked." Despite Denise's protests, Garcelle made a decision. She wasn't going to stay silent. Not this time. The footage that shocked Bravo. The next breaking point came during a group trip to Palm Springs. Cameras were rolling when Aaron arrived unexpectedly, furious that Denise had gone without telling him. The women were poolside, filming a relaxation scene, when he stormed in. "You think this is a joke?" he hissed at her, unaware that he was in full view of a Bravo camera perched on a nearby balcony. The footage shows Denise shrinking into herself, avoiding eye contact while Aaron scolded her under his breath. "You're embarrassing me," he said through clenched teeth. "You're hurting me," she whispered back. This wasn't just a tense marriage. This was something else entirely. Producers pulled the plug on filming for the day. That night, Denise didn't return to the hotel. A cast in crisis. The incident sent shockwaves through the cast. Erica Jane, herself dealing with high-profile legal drama, confessed in her confessional, "We fight about dumb stuff, glam squads, and gossip, but this felt real. Too real." Kyle Richards grew emotional when speaking to producers. "I knew something was off. I just didn't know it was this bad." Denise resurfaced 2 days later at Dorit Kemsley's house, looking pale and worn. She didn't deny what had happened. "Everyone keeps asking if I'm okay, and the truth is, I'm not." Denise breaks down on camera. Bravo offered Denise the option to step away from filming. Instead, she did something no one expected. She demanded to be filmed. She wanted her story out there. During an emotionally raw sit-down interview, Denise revealed, "I've been in love with Aaron since the moment we met, but love doesn't excuse fear. For years, I told myself he was just protective, that he had a temper, but I see now it was abuse. Verbal, emotional, sometimes physical. And I stayed silent because I didn't want anyone to see me as weak." Tears rolled down her cheeks. "I was so scared of being judged, but I'm more scared of what will happen if I keep hiding this." Bravo takes a stand. The footage sent shockwaves through the network. Bravo executives met with domestic violence counselors and legal advisors. For the first time in franchise history, the show would include a disclaimer ahead of the episode, along with a message. If you or someone you know is in an abusive relationship, you are not alone. Help is available. Andy Cohen, executive producer of the franchise, later said, "We've shown breakups, divorce, addiction, but this is something else. We didn't want to exploit Denise's pain, but she insisted this story be told. She said if it helps any one woman, it's worth it." The world responded. When the episode aired, it broke the internet. #DeniseStrong began trending on Twitter. Viewers shared their own stories of survival. Denise received thousands of messages, many from women who said her bravery inspired them to leave toxic relationships. Celebrities rallied behind her. Reese Witherspoon tweeted, "Denise Richards is a warrior. This took guts." And Oprah Winfrey shared a video saying, "Denise's vulnerability is her power." Denise issued a public statement on Instagram. "I didn't plan on this. I didn't want this. But if my story gives another woman the courage to speak up, then I'll keep speaking. I'm not ashamed anymore." The aftermath. Aaron Vipers initially denied everything. In a statement released through his lawyer, he claimed the footage was edited and that Bravo had an agenda. But days later, Denise filed for a restraining order. According to court documents, Aaron had been increasingly controlling, tracking her phone, showing up unannounced at her work, and making threats. She included screenshots of messages and several instances where police were called, but no charges filed. A judge granted a temporary restraining order barring him from contacting or coming within 300 feet of her or her daughters. A sisterhood of support. The RHOBH cast, often divided by drama, came together for Denise. Dorit helped her relocate to a secure home. Garcelle escorted her to court appearances. Even Lisa Rinna, once a friend turned foe, reached out with a heartfelt apology. "I'm sorry I didn't see it. I'm sorry I wasn't there," she wrote in a note, which Denise later shared. "There's strength in sisterhood," Denise captioned it. A new beginning. Months later, Denise looked visibly lighter. She returned for the reunion special, her hair pulled back in a simple ponytail, wearing a blazer instead of a glam gown. Her message was crystal clear. She was done playing a character. "People thought my leaving the show before was about drama. No, I left because I couldn't fake happy anymore." She added, "Bravo gave me something I never thought I'd get, the truth. And once I saw the truth, I couldn't unsee it." Behind the scenes, Bravo's evolution. Inspired by Denise's courage, Bravo began implementing changes behind the scenes. All cast members would now have access to a licensed mental health advocate during filming. A new clause was added to contracts regarding signs of abuse. A new docu-series was greenlit, unfiltered, focused on survivors of trauma within the entertainment industry. Denise would serve as executive producer. "This isn't about bashing men," she said at the project's announcement. "It's about reclaiming power, telling our stories, loudly." Life after darkness. Today, Denise Richards continues to rebuild. She's co-parenting her daughters peacefully, acting in independent films again, and working with advocacy organizations for domestic violence survivors. When asked if she would ever return to RHOBH full-time again, she smiled. "You never know, but if I do, it'll be as a woman who finally knows her worth." The final word. Sometimes reality TV gives us glitz. Sometimes it gives us gossip. But sometimes, just sometimes, it gives us the truth. The ugly, uncomfortable, raw truth. And when the cameras catch not just the performance, but the pain, and when one woman dares to stand in that truth, unflinching, that's not reality TV. That's reality. And Denise Richards, she lived it.